Now, I said I was going to do a video. I said I was going to do a preview for Spurs, Chelsea Spurs at the Bridge tomorrow. I'm going to include it in this live stream. What I just saw about a few hours ago is an absolute disrespect to a player that has been balling literally since he's gotten to the club over the summer. And who am I talking about here? Joao Pedro. It, it is an absolute disgrace. And I'm going to try to keep my cool here because I love Joao Pedro. I think he's an exceptional footballer. I think I call him a smooth operator for a reason. Joao Pedro, and I'll get my intro started off first. I'm Jason, no filter Chelsea. Drop a like, sub, comment, do everything you guys have been doing. Share this stream, do all that. I'm going to be going in on the Brazilian national team selection here. Joao Pedro. How in God's name does Carlo Ancelotti, one of the greatest managers to ever grace a touchline, leave this man out of the Brazilian squad? How does that happen? With the names that I'm seeing in the attacking line there, how in the hell is Joao Pedro not part of this Brazilian setup? Now, from a Chelsea perspective, you can think of it as, okay, cool, I'm happy he's not going to be at the World Cup. It gives him a chance to rest. But the guy is absolutely gutted that he's not there. You don't think he would have I can't even talk straight because this is how annoyed I am with it. You don't think he would have been there, want to represent his country at the World Cup? Some of the names I'm seeing in this attacking line, how in the hell are they in there in front of Joao Pedro? How does that happen? Like, can somebody actually explain that to me, Luis Henrique? Bro, this is what I'm saying. How in the hell does I've never even heard of this guy before. How does he get in over Joao Pedro? How does Matthias Cunha? Yes, Manchester United are sitting third in the Premier League. Cool. But he's not the reason why Manchester United are sitting third in the Premier League. That happens to be Bruno Fernandes. That happens to be Michael Carrick, a guy that has completely changed how Manchester United are playing. Matthias Cunha has been average at best this season. And I love Matthias Cunha. He's one of my favorite players in the Premier League, if I'm being honest with you. But he does not deserve to get in over Joao Pedro. What are we smoking, Carlo? I haven't smoked weed in a month, but pass me whatever the hell you're smoking, bro, because that is ridiculous. The fact, and Neymar, I love Neymar, bro. I really, really do. He's one of the best players of this generation. But at 34 years old, is he going to really make much of a difference going to the World Cup? Is he really? Is he really going to make much of a difference? You needed a center forward, a guy that can link play up. I don't see any of that in that Brazilian front line. I really, really don't. And if we go ahead and go over to the players that have been selected over him, bro, I mean, it's a disgrace, dude. It's an absolute calamity, bro. It's this. Joao Pedro's not going to the World Cup. As a fan, Chelsea fans should be happy because he gets to rest, but I'm gutted. I'm absolutely gutted for him. And I put my comment here a couple hours ago, bro. I don't care about the interaction, people like it or not, bro. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, man. When you have 29 goals and assists in 51 games, more than half the games you're putting in some type of goal contribution to your squad. Then we look at this, right? This is what's getting me more irritated. I'll read Joao Pedro's statement in a second, but look at the names here that are in there over Joao Pedro, bro. I don't mind Vinny. I don't mind Rafinha. Igor, Thiago, sure. Ryan, really, bro? Really? Neymar, really? Gabriel Martinelli, really? Endrick, really? Really? Like, these are the attackers Brazil's not getting out of the round of 16, guys. They're just not. I'm not saying Joao Pedro would have been the reason Brazil gets to a final, but he would have elevated their chances significantly. And anybody in the comments, the chat, want to say that he doesn't deserve to be there, you guys have not been paying attention to this guy all season. You take Joao Pedro out of this Chelsea team, Chelsea are fighting relegation, bro. It's just a fact. They're fighting relegation and starting to see stuff earlier in the week about how there's a debate between him and Neymar. What debate is there? We understand who Neymar was. We understand the quality he does possess. But at 34 years old, bro, he should not be in this Brazilian setup. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Look, I'll read his statement here. I tried to give my best at all times. Unfortunately, it was impossible to fulfill this dream representing my country in a World Cup. But I remain calm and focused. On the inside, he's pissed, bro. I always try to be. Joys and frustrations are part of football. From now on, I wish good luck to everyone who is there, and I will just be another fan cheering for them to bring their 6th title home. They're not winning any World Cup, bro. They're not. They're not getting out of the round of 16. I don't care who the manager is, and like we could take a look at their freaking at their team too, bro, because it's a disgrace. And right, Luis, you're absolutely right. Joao Pedro's game against PSG in the Club World Cup alone would get him into this World Cup squad. The hat-trick he scored against Aston Villa would get him into the World Cup alone. His performances this season would get him into this Brazilian national team alone, bro. Carlo Ancelotti has a lot of explaining to do. And then he wants to come out and say, I'm gutted for players like Estevao and Joao. Like, no, you're not. You had an opportunity to choose this man, and you didn't do it because you wanted to bring a 34-year-old man, Neymar, a guy that I love, a guy that I've respected during his career, but he's past his time, brother. He's past his time. How in the hell is he not in the World Cup setup? He really needs to explain himself. He smokes fucking cigars, right? Are you adding weed to your cigars, bro? Are you smoking a spliff? What are you doing? You may have sabotaged your chance of actually getting deeper in this tournament. And I'm not overrating Joao Pedro. I'm really, really not. Because as a Chelsea fan and as a guy that's watched Joao Pedro come up in the Premier League, this guy deserves to be there. There's no excuse. It's like you're looking at the players that were like it's insane. It doesn't make any sense. Like, it just does not make any sense. And the post is right here. I'm sad for players who have been left out like Joao Pedro. They'll have a chance in the future. If you ain't the guy on the touchline, yes. If he's not in the next Copa America squad, if he's not even in the next World Cup squad in 2030, there is an agenda against this brother. Like, what are we missing here? Like, have we been watching the same player all season? Like, I don't understand it. Like, I really, really, really don't. I don't understand like the thought process in the Brazilian FA. And the squad list is right here. We could take a look at this, right? You got Allison, Ederson, Weaverton, however the fuck you say his names. You got Alexandro, Bremier, Danilo, Santos, Gabriel, who deserves to be there, right? Marquinhos, he deserves to be there. Casemiro, Bruno Guimaraes, he deserves to be there. Lucas Paqueta, you can make an argument that he doesn't deserve to be there, right? Endrick, why does he deserve to go? Because he got a loan out to Lyon and he's been playing better. He hasn't been better than Joao Pedro all season, bro. Gabriel Martinelli, a guy that I think is insanely overrated at this point. Why is he there? Igor Thiago, I can see why he's there. He's had a brilliant season with Brentford. Cool. Matheus Cunha, a guy that has 12 goals. He's not the reason why Manchester United are sitting 3rd in the Premier League, bro. He just is not. And I rate Matheus Cunha. Neymar. Why is Neymar there? Right? Let me show you guys this shit on screen because I wasn't showing it. Look at the attackers they have. They have a decent attack. But Ryan? Really? Neymar? Really? Luis Henrique? Really, bro? Martinelli? Endrick? Joao Pedro doesn't get in over any of those players, bro. Have a day off, bro. You guys are taking the fucking piss at this point. And it's not because I love the player so much. I believe he deserves to be there. Even if he wasn't at Chelsea and he was sitting there banging in the goals, say for Arsenal, banging in the goals for Man City, if he went to Barcelona, banging in the goals for Barcelona, I guarantee he would be there. If this isn't because Chelsea had a bad season as a team, he had a good individual season. Why isn't he there? Nobody could give me a reason why that Neymar deserves to actually be there. What has Neymar done this season? It's his reputation is why he is there. I don't care if I get clipped on that shit, bro. I love Neymar. He's a great player, bro. I think he's been criminally disrespected during his entire career. But in this moment and in this time, Joao Pedro is in there over Neymar every single day of the week right now. Over Ryan, over Matthias Cunha, over Gabriel Martinelli, and over Endrick. You cannot convince me otherwise, bro. Not only do the numbers back it up, his style of play backs it up as well. It's just a fact, bro. It's absolutely disrespectful. Yeah, he is heartbroken, bro. Vinny, Joao Pedro, and Rafinha as a front three. What's going on, Shelby? How you doing? I hope Brazil fails at the World Cup for not taking. Yeah, bro. I 1000% agree with you guys. I don't think Brazil's going to do anything. If they have Joao Pedro in this setup, and that's how good this man really is, he would be able to link up the wingers that they have. Rafinha, Vinicius Jr. You can add Neymar into this team, but Joao Pedro should have been there as well. Maybe because they occupy the same space. Neymar's no longer a winger. He plays more as an attacking mid. That doesn't matter, bro. Joao Pedro himself has said he sees himself as a striker. For me, he starts over Igor. He starts over Endrick, bro. There's no reason why he shouldn't be there. If Esteval was fit, Esteval would also be in there as well. Nobody else could tell me otherwise. I'm not even Brazilian, bro. And I'm sitting here getting this upset over this. Why? Because he's been disrespected, bro. For no fucking reason. Carlo Ancelotti, you are high as fuck if you're sitting there thinking that Joao Pedro does not deserve to be there. You must have added some dank to your cigar and started chiefing that shit, bro. Because there's no reason why Joao Pedro should not be there. No reason, bro. It's ridiculous, dude. Vinny, Joao Pedro, and Rafinha would have fed families at this World Cup, bro. It would have fed a generation of families seeing that front line go crazy, dude. But Carlo Ancelotti clearly has a different idea. Carlo Ancelotti clearly has a different mindset in what he wants in attack. We're going to see how ineffective this attack is during the World Cup. Gabriel Martinelli, really, bro? Really? What has he done this season? What has he done this season? What has he done at his entire tenure at Arsenal? He's one of the most overrated wingers I've seen come to the Premier League in such a long time. He's not even starting for Arsenal, bro. How in the hell is he there over Joao Pedro? Nobody could give me a solid answer on that because he doesn't deserve to be there over him. Right, Igor Jesus, a guy at Nottingham Forest, he deserves to be there over Endrick. I agree with that. I absolutely agree with that, bro. You're absolutely right. He does deserve that. Igor Jesus, he should be there. If Esteval was fit, Esteval would also be there too. Like, nobody could tell me otherwise. Carlo Ancelotti absolutely dropped the ball. The midfield, the back line, and their goalkeepers are fine. It's the attack where I have the issue. I had Brazil going to the semifinal, possibly getting to the final, given what they had. I don't wish injury on anyone, but Neymar is going to get... Bro, it's going to happen because he cannot sustain playing for that. You saw the game yesterday where he gets substituted out, and there was a whole controversy about that, but Neymar has proven he cannot stay fit. I guarantee one of these three group games that they're going to play in, Neymar is going to find himself on the sideline and he's going to be out. What are you going to do? Call Joao Pedro in then? Why? You already ruined him by not adding him to this squad. It's an absolute embarrassment, bro. Like, there's no excuse for it. There's no excuse for it. I'm sorry for Joao Pedro because the man has had an exceptional season. You're not linked with the move to Barcelona if you're not balling, bro. Barcelona don't go after scrubs. They go after world-class talent. Joao Pedro is a world-class talent, bro. He really, really is. And people that want to sit here and say that he put slander on his name, saying he's overrated, you haven't watched a minute of this brother play all season. You have not. Like, you guys just don't understand it. Like, without him in the squad, Chelsea are facing relegation because Cole Palmer hasn't even got it going. And I'll be honest about Cole Palmer here. Thomas Tuchel, do not call that brother up. Do not call up Cole Palmer. Don't do it because he doesn't deserve to be there. Joao Pedro deserves to be with his national team more than Cole Palmer deserves to be with his national team, bro. Like, that's how disrespected Joao Pedro has gotten. And I guarantee next season, the dude is going to be in the running for the Golden Boot, and he might end up trying to be the player of the season next year. That's what I would do. Prove yourself even more. You didn't even need to prove yourself. You came in during the Club World Cup and scored 3 breathtaking goals. Breathtaking goals. And basically showed us, oh yeah, I'm a serious player. I'm trying to bring Chelsea back to relevancy. Carlo Ancelotti dropped the ball, and he managed Chelsea, bro. He managed Real Madrid. He's managed AC Milan, bro. He's managed top clubs, won Champions Leagues, won league titles with them. And you don't bring in a guy that can possibly get you to a World Cup title, maybe not win it, but get you to almost winning that. To win a World Cup, breaks have to go your way. You're telling me Joao Pedro can't capitalize on a mistake from a back line? Like, have a day off, Carlo. Have a day off, bro. You absolutely dropped the ball with this, man. Absolutely dropped the ball. And let me go ahead and take a look at a few things here from Twitter. Right, I'll share this right here. Justin, there's no doubt it's a reality. Barcelona are having contact with people close to Joao Pedro because they love him. But Chelsea's position is clear. They don't want Joao. They want Joao to be an important part under Xabi Alonso. He's not going to push for a move away. I think this is going to motivate him even more to succeed at Chelsea. That way, at the next Copa America, he's definitely in the squad. In the next World Cup in 2030, he's definitely in the squad. There's no excuse, bro. It's just have a day off, dude. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous, right? And then this one from JNR, the guy I think has some clownish takes on some players. I don't care if he sees this. It's whatever. It's how I feel. I think your takes are a little wild, but it is what it is. Joao Pedro being left out of the 2026 squad is insane. But as a Chelsea fan, I'm all right. As a Chelsea fan, I'm cool, right? He gets to take a rest. But as a football fan, bro, Carlo Ancelotti dropped the ball, man. I'm sorry. He really, really did. Sad for him and his ambitions, but many of our players need a lot of rest over the summer. England leaving Cole Palmer out would be nice too. Come on, Tuchel. He doesn't deserve it. Like I've been saying on these streams, bro, Carlo Ancelotti dropped the ball. Cole Palmer does not deserve to go to the England national team. And that's my favorite player on the team. Check out the back of my jersey, bro. He doesn't deserve to go. And it's best for Cole to sit this World Cup out. You're young, brother. You have the Euros coming up in a couple seasons. You'll be in that squad, I guarantee. And you'll probably be in the next World Cup squad. But specifically this World Cup squad, bro, you do not deserve to be there over Jude Bellingham, over Eze, even though Eze, I think, has been overrated this season anyway. You don't deserve to be there. You really, really don't. Joao Pedro, man. Drop your thoughts, bro, in the chat. All that shit, man. Like, it's ridiculous, dude. It's ridiculous. And, like, I don't like getting this animated over stuff, honestly. But when I see bullshit like this, and I'm sorry for cussing, but I cuss on my channel anyway because I'm no filter Charles. I just say how I feel about things. This is an absolute fucking disgrace. And there should be outrage. There should be Brazilians upset. There should be football fans upset that he's not in the squad, bro. There absolutely should. And I'll go full screen for this. If he's not in the next Copa America squad, for Brazil, there needs to be an investigation on the team selection in Brazil. There's no reason why Gabriel Martinelli should be in there over Joao Pedro. There's no reason why Endrick should be in there over Joao Pedro. Igor Jesus at Brentford should be in there, bro. Like a person in my chat said, they should be there. There's no reason. Joao Pedro should absolutely be in the Brazilian squad at the World Cup. And if Esteval, bro, if he was fit, he would be there too. I have Discord, but I don't really use it anymore, bro. Because I don't like play Smash Brothers as much anymore, so I don't really use it as much. Let me know your guys' thoughts, man. I mean, I've gone on about 20 minutes ranting about this, and it's like it's just pissing me off more and more and more that I think about it. But over time, it's gonna be like, okay, he ain't gonna be there. But I want to see my Chelsea boys actually over there in the States representing their countries, man. I just said Cole Palmer doesn't deserve to be there, but realistically, he's gonna be in the World Cup squad. It is the strangest call-up I've ever seen. I think Endrick is also a strange call-up. He's had a good half season at Lyon because he wasn't getting game time at Real Madrid. Why is that? Kylian Mbappe is there. You're not going to start over Kylian Mbappe. You're not. Luis Enrique I've never even heard of the guy. And that's no disrespect to him. If you're getting called up to Brazil, you're obviously some type of baller, but you're not more of a baller than Joao Pedro. Are you Brazilian, bro? I see you're a Barcelona fan, but are you Brazilian? Like, it's ridiculous, dude. I don't understand it. Like the thought process in picking these teams. Like, if we look at all the other national teams, you can say, okay, all these players do deserve to be there. But with the Brazilian attackers, bro, how in the hell do you not choose Joao Pedro? You know what? I feel like tomorrow, and I'll get into my Spurs and Chelsea preview in a second. I think tomorrow Joao Pedro is gonna go. You're from Barcelona, okay, bro. I feel like tomorrow Joao Pedro is gonna go absolutely ballistic, dude. I like when you don't get called up like that, and you see the names on that list. Joao Pedro is gonna have a game tomorrow. Do you think that Joao Pedro will move to you guys anyway? I don't think you guys are gonna actually make the move. I think you guys really want to go get Julian Alvarez, but I don't think you guys will actually make an attempt for Joao Pedro, mainly because Chelsea won't sell. And in my opinion, you guys would have to pay north of 110 million to even get him. It's ridiculous, dude. I just don't understand it. Like, I just don't understand the thought process in Carlo Ancelotti. And I'm not in position to question one of the greatest managers of all time. But in this moment, I'm going to question you, bro. What are you smoking? What's in your cigar? How much have you had to drink? Like, are we really thinking about these things? Or you just, I mean, listen, any top club in Europe should want Joao Pedro in their squad. Why? Smooth operator. That's what I've been saying, bro. He's one of the smoothest footballers I've seen. And when he has the ball at his feet, he plays at his own pace. And that's something that you don't find in a lot of players. Joao Pedro, if he was at Barcelona, Lamine Yamal and Rafinha, Marcus Rashford, they would be scoring a bundle of goals. His link-up play is exceptional. The ability to carry the ball is exceptional, brother. Exceptional. His finishing is top-notch. He's clinical. He can pick out a pass as well. Yeah, Rafinha, Joao Pedro, and Lamine Yamal, Pedri. If you guys keep Marcus Rashford, you guys would have a scary front line. And if you find a way to get Julian Alvarez, you guys would have the best front line in Europe, probably the world. But I think you guys will really make a move for Julian Alvarez. Honestly, I think that's your main priority. I don't want to see Joao Pedro because respectfully, brother, I hate Barcelona. But at the same time, Joao Pedro would go ballistic at Barcelona. Don't get that twisted. He would go crazy at Barcelona. There's more space in La Liga, and he'll be able to really prove why he's a smooth operator, man. Honestly, he really, really would. I appreciate all the comments, bro. I really, really do. And for the people watching on Twitter, on Twitch, what's going on? We're talking about the disrespect that Brazil shows Joao Pedro by not calling him up to the Brazilian national team, man. It's craziness. Another thing I want to touch on here, not a project CFC ended up canceling the protest for tomorrow's game against Spurs. And this is my question. Why are you guys stopping it now? Because a new manager came in and you don't want to have a bad example? The fans ain't trying to show a bad example? I think the protests, honestly, man, I think the protests, bro, you guys have absolutely bottled it, man. And I was saying you guys shouldn't be doing this during a cup final, but now you're canceling during probably the biggest home game of the season. This is when you're supposed to be doing it. Now you're canceling it because this man right here, who I'm going to follow, is the manager. You guys weren't serious to fucking begin with, bro. Honestly, you guys weren't serious about it. Look, and even Eunice called you guys out. Bottled, fully bottled. Good luck trying to get it back up and running after the summer. No one is going to take this shit serious, bro. The group just signed its own death warrant. It did. It did. You guys were supposed to go to this game tomorrow, on-field demonstration, and protest against the ownership. But now that they hired a serious manager, all of a sudden, oh, well, now following discussions over the weekend and after gaining feedback from supporters, it's like, you guys are a joke, bro. Not a project CFC. No one's going to take a protest seriously anymore, especially these owners. You guys did well with the first two, but now you're canceling out this one. The most important home game of the season. Probably our most hated team coming to the bridge with a chance to put them one game away from relegation. And you're not doing the protest. Right? We wish to be very clear. This is no way a statement of intent to cease and desist with our efforts to restore the values and identity that made this club great. Well, bro, you're not going to have an easy time doing that now. We're always trying to gauge the mood among supporters and demonstrate our frustrations when the time feels right. And on reflection, we wish to take a step back and review our position over the summer before taking further action. So if Xabi Alonso is able to get serious players through the door, you guys aren't going to have a protest. You bottled it. You fucked up. Because you guys weren't serious about it. If you're serious, see, and this is the part right here that pisses me off. You guys sound just like Blue Co, bro. Self-reflection. Self-reflection of what? Are you guys embarrassed to do it? While having huge reservations about how much self-reflection has happened at the club when not one sporting director seems to have been held accountable for the failings of the past 4 seasons, we hope and understand that as supporters, there is always a glimmer of hope following the promise. And see, this part right here, this is why they ain't doing it no more. Because they hired Xabi Alonso. I'm sorry, man. Like, I'm sorry. Let me show this on screen. I wasn't even showing it. Because that's how irritated I am with this. You guys weren't serious about this. There will always be a glimmer of hope following a promising managerial hire like Xabi Alonso. Really? Really? I was saying you guys should even be doing it on a cup final Saturday. But now that they hired Xabi Alonso, oh, now we have to take a few steps back and really reflect on if we're going to sit here and do this or not. You guys are ridiculous, bro. No one's going to take this shit serious anymore. Not the owners, for sure. You bottled it. Don't even schedule another protest. Because what it seems like here, and I've been on record saying this shit, and I don't think they're blue co in. I think they're honestly blue co out. I'm blue co out as well. But at the same time, this isn't a good look on you guys, because it doesn't show that you guys are serious. I'm sorry. Like I really, really am. I don't care if I get called out for this shit. You guys aren't serious about it. Because if you guys were serious about this shit, you would have done these protests earlier in the season, even when Enzo Maresca was still the manager. But why didn't you guys do it? Because Chelsea were on a good run of form and were actually winning games. They beat Barcelona 3-0. They beat Liverpool 2-1 at the Bridge 2 days before my birthday, which is still my favorite game of the season, by the way. Not a Project CFC. If you guys are listening and you guys are watching this, you guys bottled it. You guys bottled it, bro. Now these owners are definitely not going to take any protests seriously. That's on you guys. It's not on the fans, on the supporters. You guys were the organizers. Now you guys are taking a step back because Xabi Alonso got hired. You guys were never serious. I'm sorry. And I'll be interested to know how Johnny Minerals feels, how Bobby Fairview feels, how Goonie feels, how Eunice really feels, how the other dude, Matisse, how he really feels, right? How Rory Jennings feels. I would be curious to know how they actually feel. Alex Goldberg, how do you guys really feel about this? Because you guys were the main ones calling for protests. Show up to these protests. Do all this. Support Blue Co. out. Now the organizers of the protests aren't even having the protests anymore. It's time you guys start listening to what the hell I'm saying here, because these guys are not serious about a protest and a change in ownership. I don't think they really are. Because if you were, you would have went through with the protest regardless of the manager that got hired. And you would have had protests earlier in the season. That's just a fact, bro. You would have had protests earlier in the season, but you guys didn't. And speaking on that, I'm going to pull up something here when it comes to how I felt about the ownership back in 2023. Right? I used to have this podcast called Jason's World, right? And I need to figure out where it's at here. I think it's right here. Let me go ahead and mute my mic real quick so I can actually get to it. Outside of that, guys, can you guys explain to me how you guys are feeling about the protests and like Joao Pedro not being on the Brazilian team? I'm gonna get to my preview for Spurs versus Chelsea after this. Yeah, it's right here. Like, if you're not playing well, any level, youth, high school, college. Listen to what I say here. This is back in 2023. You're just not. The recruitment that we've had over the past few seasons has been dreadful. The signings that we've made with Lukaku and, all that, spending over 100 million just to go get a win. If you really think about it, if you would have paid that extra 60 million to Dortmund a couple seasons ago, you would have got yourself Erling Haaland. And right now, he's proven that he was worth it. I'm speaking about the recruitment back in 2023 when the owners took over in, I believe it was mid 2022, right? The recruitment has been horrific over these past 4 years now. 3 years, right? 3-4 years. If I'm speaking on this back in 2023, when I wasn't even known on YouTube like that, what does that tell you about me and how I've been feeling about this ownership? That should tell you everything. I saw this shit 3 years ago. And you have people now just coming to the realization about this ownership, right? Like I said, it doesn't matter who was hired as manager, bro. It does not. It never has been. It's about the owners not knowing what the hell they're doing. And when you look at a quote like this, there's always a glimmer of hope following a promised managerial hire. What are we on? These owners have not proven that they're going to relinquish any control. I'm hoping they do, because you're not bringing in Xabi Alonso if you're not going to at least try to change something. But we need to see it to believe it, guys. We really, really do. And there's been people on YouTube saying this shit since the ownership came in. Big up Johnny Minerals, bro. Big up to that brother right there, because he's been one of the few people that have saw it early. I'm American. I don't like American owners in European sports. Why? Because they don't think about the fans. They don't think about the sport. They think about the money that they can make. It's a business opportunity, bro. Not a project CFC. You guys have absolutely dropped the ball on this, and you guys deserve all the slack that you're getting right now for it. But if we're going to transition away from talking about Joao Pedro and not a project CFC fumbling the bag with this protest and trying to push the ownership out, let's go ahead and talk about Tottenham, or Chelsea Tottenham, at the bridge. What are we going to be looking at here, guys? So I'm going to go ahead and go over to the Premier League table. Arsenal, they did win today. You know, I'm going to say this, dude. And the man's on screen right now. Let me go ahead and show this, right? Let me see if it's being shown. No, it isn't being shown yet. Let me go ahead and do this. Okay. Can we be honest? This man right here, how in the hell is that not a red card? I'm at Pizza My Heart with my beautiful girlfriend, bro. Beautiful girlfriend, man. Right? I'm watching this game on my phone. I see the challenge. I'm like, that has to go to VAR. That has to be looked at. It's a high boot into dude's calf. How in the hell does that not go to VAR to get looked at? Once again, we see the ineptitude of the refereeing in that country. And I don't live in the UK. That's why I say that country. In England, drop the ball. Arsenal should have been down to 10. Then he gets subbed off 2 minutes later. What are they paying these referees, bro? And I don't want to sound like I'm salty. I'm just speaking facts. Any other player in the Premier League is getting a red card for that. But because it's Arsenal at the Emirates, they're not going to get sent off. And Burnley just barely lost that game. Burnley had chances in that second half. Burnley had chances in the game. And Arsenal were lucky not to concede at least one of those goals. It's ridiculous, dude. The refereeing in the Premier League is an absolute abomination, dude. But that's all I'm going to say on it. You hope Man City, they beat Bournemouth, and the title race comes down to the final day where they go to, I believe, Arsenal go to Palace. And let me go ahead and take a look at who Man City play. Oh, I forgot who they played, actually. Championship Sunday, Man City hosts Aston Villa. And, you know, it's crazy. Like, the last time Man City played Aston Villa at home, I think on the final day, they won the title on that day. So they edged out Liverpool, I believe. But Arsenal go to Palace. I hope Crystal Palace makes that a very difficult game. But if we go to the Premier League table, we take a look at what that win for Arsenal means. They've now won 4 games on the bounce. You hope that Man City wins, and I don't like Man City. I'll get to Pep at the end of this stream because I have some stuff to say about Pep Guardiola. Some good things to say about him, honestly. Like, some really good things about him. But Chelsea played Spurs at the Bridge. Chelsea's form has been dreadful. They're winless. It says on the form table in 5, they haven't won a Premier League game since March 4th, bro. It's May 18th. They're stuck on 49 points, where I said at the end of February they should be on 49 points to give themselves a shot at Euro. So if Chelsea win tomorrow, which is a tough ask, they'll jump Brentford into 8th with the possibility, if Man City do beat Bournemouth, that'll be great. From a Chelsea perspective, it means Chelsea on the final day will have a chance to get in the Euro or get into the Champions League. Funnily enough, if certain results go their way. What to expect in this game? I don't know what to expect, because if we look at the home form for Chelsea, bro, and I said this earlier in my stream, Chelsea now they're 13th. Chelsea sit 13th in the Premier League with 6 wins at home, 7 losses at home. 7 losses at home at Stamford Bridge is unacceptable. Unacceptable. They picked up 23 points at home. The only teams that are worse than Chelsea at home are Everton, Palace, Forest, West Ham, Wolves, Spurs, and Burnley. But if you look at the away form, which is crazy, right? Look where Chelsea sit. They sit 3rd, which is ridiculous. I mean, it's great, but if you look at, in recent run of form, on recency bias, Chelsea don't win wherever they go. Spurs right now, funnily enough, are a top 5 team away from home. But they don't come to the Bridge and win. My only fear for this game tomorrow, if I'm being honest with you guys, is Chelsea don't show up and they actually help Tottenham stay in the Premier League. But at some point, you got to have some type of pride. You need to understand who's coming to the Bridge tomorrow. Like, you need to understand who's coming to the Bridge tomorrow, man. And I'll go over my starting 11 here in a second. I want to go over a little bit of the team news that we saw earlier from Callum McFarlane, because he's going to be the guy that is he will be the guy that is on the touchline tomorrow. Let me go ahead and look at this real quick. Let me go ahead and go to their official site, actually. Hold on. There shouldn't be any injuries outside of the obvious ones like Esteval and all that. It says Pedro Neto should be available. Garnacho should be available, which, good God. Yeah, I mean, it's essentially the same team should be available. No Romeo Lavia. In my opinion, I don't think he'll be in the squad tomorrow. Levi Colwell should be good to go. But outside of that, everybody that played on Saturday should be available for this week. Let me go ahead and go back to the site here. Levi Colwell will be probably a game time decision, essentially, probably on the day to see how he goes through training. I mean, essentially everybody who was there is going to be available. No Badiashile, no Sarr, which is crazy because you shouldn't have taken him away from Strasbourg. You should have just let him to continue to develop. No Romeo Lavia. So essentially the same team should be available. So I'm going to go over my lineup, honestly, with you guys. Let me go ahead and just get these players in here. I need to change the formation as well. Because the way that we've been playing recently, I have a feeling it's going to be more of a wingback system anyway. But I'll show you how I would run this, honestly. Especially if you are running with wingbacks, this is what I would generally do. Actually, I don't want to use this lineup maker. That shit sucks. Yeah, we'll go here. The last time I did it on this site, there's so many fucking ads. It's ridiculous. No, I'm not paying for your stuff, bro. So we've been seeing a lot of the back three, but against Man City, I don't think that was the right setup. But I feel like it's going to be something like this, even though a 3-4-3 is something I can see, but how I would run it. Oh my God, bro, these ads are outrageous, bro. All right. So for me, Sanchez is in goal. I don't want to hear about Flip Jorgensen. I really, really don't. I think he's gone in the summer. I'm sorry. That's my man at right back. I don't want to see Malo Gusto anymore at right back. For me right here, people are going to say Wes. I'm going to go with Trev in this game, honestly. And my left back is going to, like, it won't shock people, but this is what I would run. I'm sorry. Mark Cucurella has run his race this season. I think Joao Hato needs to start the rest of the season at left back. Then for me, I'm dropping Enzo a bit deeper. I don't want to see him playing in the attacking mid position. In this sort of game, and I'm getting tired of these damn ads. Neto. You know what? It's tricky. I mean, I may not even play with wingers in this team actually, because I don't want to start Liam Delap because he ain't good enough for it, bro. Might have to change up this formation real quick. Bro, this shit is so annoying. That's crazy. It's really hard to pick a formation for this team because because I don't want to start Garnacho, bro. Like I'm really trying to avoid myself from doing that. And like I don't like people should not be blaming me for that, honestly. It's just really hard to start a guy that can't even control his body, man. I guess we're gonna have to do this. Oh, man, I might have to do it, huh? Because we're so thin out wide, bro. Like, who would you guys start though? Like, honestly, I don't even know who. Who would you guys even start, dude? Like, there's no Romeo Lavia to start him in midfield, and I don't want to play Palmer on the wings. Oh man, this is rough, dude. I'm gonna have to go through their squad, bro. like this is so bad. I hate this, man. Let me go through their squad real quick, because like this is like how bad it really really is. I mean, Jesse Derry is not even available, man. God, man, it's very very thin. Unfortunately, guys, I'm gonna probably have to start. I mean, maybe if I switched up like the midfield, I can start Andre Santos in this game to avoid starting Garnacho. But again, it's like I don't want to have to do that. But for the sake of what I think they're gonna choose for tomorrow, because they're both available, unfortunately, this is where I wish we had like Eden Hazard still, bro, or even like Christian Pulisic. Like, good God. So this is what I think they're gonna run with tomorrow: Reece James, Chalobah, Colwell, Joel Hato, Enzo, Caicedo, Palmer just ahead of him, Pedro Neto on the right, Joao Pedro up top, and Garnacho on the left. And I'm not happy about saying Garnacho on the left, bro. I it's just a disgrace, bro, that our left wing position is this bad. Like it's embarrassing, man. What game is it? This is for I don't know if you're talking to me or what game is it. I'm doing a preview for um Chelsea versus Spurs at the Bridge tomorrow, and I'm having a tough time figuring out who's going to start out there on the left wing because we're so god awful out there. Like we're so god awful on the wings. Our best winger is an 18-year-old kid, bro. Like, that tells you everything you need to know. But this is how I think it's going to be ran out there tomorrow. Let me know your guys' thoughts on this. I think the man of the match, given everything that's happened today, will be Joao Pedro. Team captain, obviously, will be Reece James. I think the man of the match tomorrow will be Joao Pedro. I think he's going to have an exceptional game, even if the winger position isn't great. Pedro Neto will pull out a random performance every once in a while, but I'm not expecting it. I just think Joao Pedro will be on a solo act tomorrow, maybe with Enzo, maybe Caicedo plays well tomorrow. Maybe Reece James does get the license to push forward a bit more to allow a back three to form, allows Enzo to push up to form a diamond in midfield or box midfield. But again, it's like our winger position is so bad, bro. So bad. And that's where one of the major upgrades needs to be in the summer is the winger position. Because you can't rely on Estabao to bail you out of games, bro. Not every single game. He's a great young player, but you can't expect him to do it every single game. I mean, listen, bro. Chelsea should win this game, right? But when you have 6 wins at home all season and you're losing to teams and you're dropping points at home, you shouldn't be sitting 13th in the Premier League. And I'm going to X this out. You shouldn't be sitting 13th in the Premier League, bro, on home form. If you're a serious club and you want to win things, you don't sit 13th in the Premier League. The games they've lost this season at home have been ridiculous. Newcastle, Man City, Manchester United. You got Sunderland at home, Brighton 3-1 at home, right? Like, it's those games that you're looking at, and it's like not really Man City or even Man United, but Newcastle, Sunderland, right? Brighton. You're dropping points to Leeds and Burnley at home. Burnley are relegated. Like, these are the games that you should be picking up points in. It just doesn't make any sense. And you were up against Arsenal at 1-0 with 10 men. But a lot of that's not like Chelsea's fault. Chelsea were just down to 10 men. But that's the story of their season also. Poor discipline. It's just a reality, man. But Chelsea should win tomorrow. They should absolutely look to they should be foaming at the mouth of the possibility of putting Spurs one game away from getting relegated. That should already be enough for them to be motivated, because we see the disdain between the two clubs as it is, and these Chelsea players don't like Tottenham at all. So there should be a heightened level of urgency to play well in this game tomorrow, because if Spurs come to the Bridge tomorrow and they pick up a result, heads are going to roll. And this protest that was canceled, the fans will schedule their own riot at Stamford Bridge, bro. I promise you that. And I'm not even from that area. I'm just a fan who lives 5,000 miles away. That's what I'm saying. Chelsea Football Club, don't you dare lose to Tottenham or drop points to Tottenham tomorrow. Don't you fucking dare. I promise you that now. Don't do it. Don't do it. Like, please, for the love of everything, please do not lose to Tottenham tomorrow at home. Because if you do, the fan base is gone. It's already gone as it is. But they will be so far gone that there's no recovery. Not even Xabi Alonso would be able to save this. You lose to Tottenham, who are fighting relegation. Yeah. There's going to be questions not just asked of the manager, of these freaking players at this point. You allow Tottenham to come to the Bridge and beat you guys, heads will be rolling. I promise you that. I promise you that. And I don't need to live in the UK to know that. I don't need to live in London to know that. Like, you really, really don't. How happy am I about Xabi Alonso as the manager? I'm excited. Like, I have optimism about it. You know, I just want to see if he'll actually be able to bring players in. We're sell to buy, but I have optimism. I mean, my issue with how Xabi Alonso got done at Real Madrid are the players. But now Jose Mourinho is set to go back there. So we'll see how much of the egos these players have in that dressing room. Xabi Alonso was driven out by the players. Chelsea's issues in the dressing room were that they didn't believe in Liam Rossini and they didn't take him seriously. This is why during the international break, you saw Enzo Fernandez speak out. Mark Cucurella was saying stuff. Caicedo even spoke on it. Reece James was speaking. Players were coming out. And I was saying this on stream before the international break or in shorts. You're going to see a lot of these players speak out about what's going on in the dressing room and about how upset they were that Enzo Maresca was let go. Xabi Alonso not only has a chance to come into this club and turn these players back on side, but get the players to understand the identity and the style of football that he's looking for. Chelsea under Enzo Maresca had an identity and a style of play. Liam Rossini didn't even have that. Pochettino was able to show that towards the end of the season because he took the shackles off the players and he spoke out about what was going on, and then he was let go. You speak out against the ownership, you're going to get let go. The difference, I think, with Xabi Alonso is that none of these guys that were there before were titled manager. I think the title of manager should be giving fans a little bit more optimism. But until we see these players holding up their jersey, signing that contract, we're not going to believe any of these links with players. We're just not. And I have players in mind, and I was talking to my friend about this earlier, right? I would love to see Chelsea go after a Rafael Leao. I would love to see them go after Iliman Ndiaye, Crescencio Somerville at West Ham. Somerville is a good player, bro. He is a good player. And he deserves a move to a better club because if West Ham get relegated, there's going to be a fire sale at West Ham. And anybody that gets their hands on Jared Bowen, you guys have a smart buy on your hands. He's one of the last traditional wingers we have in the Premier League, in my opinion. Let me see here. I was talking to him like my friend about this. Let me see. And me personally, bro, as a goalkeeper, I would go after Jordan Pickford if you really can. Right? I would go after him. Right? What I believe Chelsea needs in this team is quality wingers, another creative midfielder to go alongside Enzo Fernandez, right back cover for Reece James, a better goalkeeper, and 2 center halves. Why do you think the owners will keep? What do you think? Will the owners will keep Enzo or sell him for money? Enzo's a really tricky one because he would probably bring the most value out of any of the players that you can sell. But I think if Xabi Alonso wants to keep him, I think he's going to get his wish. And I think Enzo Fernandez would love to work under a guy that played in a similar position as him and really pick his brain because he made Granit Xhaka a better midfielder, bro. Granit Xhaka, a guy that couldn't cut it at Arsenal, goes to Bayer Leverkusen and is the operator in one of the greatest Bundesliga seasons of all time. Chelsea got Timu Peter Cech. I mean, Robert Sanchez, bro, it's interesting because he wasn't playing bad at the Club World Cup in the beginning of the season. I think when Liam Rossini benched him, his confidence got stripped. Like, honestly, like, I think, and you start Jorgensen away to PSG in the Champions League, that tells you everything you need to know about the levels of managers that was brought in. This ownership sabotaged the entire season. Honestly, that's what happened. Yeah. Let me go ahead and show this from Chelsea Empire, bro. Because it's exactly what I was talking about earlier about the fucking protest, man. Right? Blueco made one move and killed the entire movement. Begdad Igbali is probably laughing somewhere watching this unfold. If things go bad again, nobody will care how we feel. And honestly, the only real Blueco out voices left for what we love are Johnny, Eunice, Goonie, Tobes, and Sugar Sean, the ones who actually landed and have platforms big enough to be heard. Well, yeah, they have the bigger platforms to be heard, bro. Obviously. Because they've been on the platform for years. I'm just starting out, but I was saying this shit back in 2023, bro. But at the same time, you're absolutely right. One move that Igbali made killed an entire movement. That shows how unserious this protest really was. That's all. That's all I'm gonna say on it, because it's a disgrace, dude. That you guys actually stopped the movement because a manager got hired. Insane. And no, I'm not looking for clout. I'm not looking to be a front runner. I've been saying this shit since 2023, when Chelsea were having that horrific season back in 22-23, bro. That the recruitment was horrible. You sacked a manager that didn't need to get sacked, and you had a bloated squad. Now you're looking at a situation where this season could end up being worse. It feels worse, realistically. I mean, we've been hoping for 4 years, bro. Honestly, but I understand what you're saying. Like, you appoint this guy, and you like, there was a thing I saw like a month ago saying they want a Xabi Alonso type project. You got the guy you named the project after. Now let the guy you named the project after build his project. Just provide the money, if there is any, right? Just provide the funds, and you'll be able to see what he built up by Leverkusen may end up happening at Chelsea. Real Madrid was an aberration. Why? Because the players over there are egotistical. They have big personalities, and I don't think Xabi Alonso was built for that kind of club. I think Chelsea Football Club is the perfect club for him to build what he wants. Because Chelsea are not as big as Real Madrid. No club is. They're the richest club in the world for a reason. They're the most successful club in the world for a reason. Xabi Alonso was not built for that club. And the fact that he was available and you got him and you named the project after him, you need to let the man cook. Otherwise, why'd you bring him in? It's a waste of time. You should have went to just go get a Gary O'Neill or Marco Silva, Iraola, and then use them as puppets, bro. Honestly. But one last thing here before I'm off stream for the night. Pep Guardiola. I will say this, man. Let me go ahead and pull up the official post here too. Let's see here. Right here. You're a Barca fan? Do you want Joao Pedro? But let me go ahead and speak on one of your former managers, actually. Pep Guardiola has informed Manchester City that he will be leaving the club this summer. Decision confirmed in official statement to follow, as Pep will say goodbye to Man City fans very soon. One name to replace Pep: Enzo Maresca. Now, I saw something earlier about how people are calling him a snake. He knew the job was available. I don't think he left the club because Pep was leaving at the end of the season. I think he felt frustrated and he got annoyed with how he was being micromanaged at the club. At Man City, he's not going to feel that kind of thing because the owners at Man City are ambitious and they want to win now, not win in 4 years. But in 4 years at Chelsea, they haven't done shit. But my honest thoughts on Pep Guardiola, bro, something rather than nothing. I mean, he's not something rather than nothing. I think he would absolutely rip it up in La Liga, bro. But Pep Guardiola, bro. A guy that came to the club in 2016, finished fourth in his first season. And since that point, has elevated Man City to heights they've never seen. Won them a Champions League. Multiple time Premier League winner. At one point, won 4 straight. The Centurions, right? Made players like Kevin De Bruyne. Made players like Raheem Sterling, even though I think he's overrated. Enhanced Aguero's, career. He made so many players better. Kyle Walker is considered one of the greatest right backs in Premier League history because of Pep Guardiola. Vincent Kompany, Ruben Diaz, Ederson. Players like that, he made better. Bernardo Silva. You mean Joao Pedro? Yeah, I think Joao Pedro would rip it up, bro, at Barcelona, more than what he's doing at Chelsea right now. And it's a disgrace he's not on the Brazilian national team. But Pep Guardiola will, in my opinion, I know Sir Alex Ferguson has the 13 Premier League titles. Cool, bro. But head to head, I saw Pep Guardiola give Sir Alex Ferguson nightmares. Yes, it was with Barca, but I saw that man give him nightmares. Pep Guardiola is the greatest Premier League manager of all time. And there's no debate about it. I don't want to hear Sir Alex, Jurgen Klopp. I don't want to hear it. What Pep did in a 10-year span. Yeah, owners at Man City let the people run the club who knows football. They just provide the money. That's why Pep Guardiola was so great there too, because they trusted him. They got the sporting director from Barcelona to go to Man City and essentially help him out, and has multiple Premier League titles. Enzo Maresca was on the contract at Chelsea at the same time he was talking with Man City. Then he got the offer and sure Chelsea. I mean, he was being micromanaged, bro. He was being micromanaged. I mean, in a way, I can see what you're saying, that he got the offer, but at the same time, I don't think he wanted to leave the players there hanging the way that he did. He got frustrated with how the ownership at Chelsea, bro. I'm going to tell you this now, are the main reason why the club is where it's at. If Enzo Maresca was, because he's going to Man City, he's not going to have these issues. And you're going to see him win silverware because the owners there are ambitious enough to allow the manager and the sporting directors to do what they do. They just provide the funds. Chelsea's owners look for young kids, young stars or whatever, and send them on loan. You don't see a lot of the players they buy for 60, 70 million get into the squad, bro. They're on loan. And it's a businessman club. Exactly. They're not looking at the footballing side of things. Enzo Maresca, in the beginning of this season, you weren't thinking about him going to Man City. You just weren't thinking about it because you thought that the ownership would change, but then you went through the summer transfer window and you don't get anybody that he's asking for. Of course, the manager is going to be frustrated off of that. He's asking for a center half, a goalkeeper, and one more attacker. He didn't believe in Joao Pedro, but now Enzo Maresca does look foolish for even saying that about him. But at the same time, when a manager is asking for certain positions and the ownership doesn't want to give it to you, I would look for a way out too. Honestly, it doesn't matter if I'm talking to a club or not. I would look for a way out. I absolutely would. Yes, we will watch that. My girl wants to watch her reality TV, and I'm here for it because I watch the reality TV. Enzo Maresca is a cancerous snake through and through. Everyone gets micromanaged in professional world. What the actual fuck? I mean, they do, but at the same time, bro, and it's my opinion. I'm just telling you how I feel about it. We can agree to disagree, bro. Like, I'm not here to argue with you. All I'm telling you is that if a guy wants certain positions at his club and he feels like it can elevate the club and you don't do it, I would look for a way out too. But when the owners are sitting here tinkering with team selection, do you ever hear that at any other club? That never happened with Jurgen Klopp. That never happened with Pep Guardiola. It doesn't even happen with Mikel Arteta at Arsenal. And Enzo Maresca has won more than that man. Maybe not now, because Arsenal are on the verge of winning the Premier League and maybe the Champions League, the two biggest trophies in the sport, in my opinion. So yeah, if you're going to sit there and say that everyone gets micromanaged, they do. But at the same time, if you're asking for positions that you know that can make the club better and you don't get it, and then you have your team selection micromanaged and the medical staff is telling you certain players can play and they're clearly still injured, that's a problem, dude. That really, really is a problem. And you can't work with that. So he found his way out. He got his way out. I don't think he's a cancerous snake. I think he could have handled his exit a little bit better. I will agree with you on that. But the way that he was being micromanaged at the club, and he couldn't even pick certain players in his squad because the ownership was trying to get players out there to up their transfer value, that's a problem, bro. That would never happen at Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Man United, Bayern Munich, Juventus. It just wouldn't happen. Real, it just wouldn't happen. It only happens with this ownership group because this ownership group only cares about making a buck. They don't care about the on-field performances. And as fans, and as a fan of this club, I care about the on-field performances, bro. And when the on-field performances and you're questioning why certain players are in the squad and in the starting 11, you have every right to ask questions. What the hell are you doing, Enzo Maresca? But then it comes out that they use data and AI to pick their lineups. What club does that? He did not give a chance to Pedro or Santos. Klopp never wanted Salah or Mane. Yeah, he never wanted them, but look what they did for him. Look what they did for him, right? And he didn't give a chance to Joao Pedro. I mean, he didn't believe in. He said that Joao Pedro wouldn't be a 20-goal-a-season striker. Joao Pedro proved him wrong. I felt like that was a ridiculous statement to make. Andre Santos, in my opinion, he may not be good enough, bro. But can I ask you, Ann Morrison, how do you feel about Xabi Alonso being the new manager? Do you have optimism as him being manager, and do you think that the ownership will actually allow him to get players that he wants in the club? At this time, you sound like Maresca PR cuck more than a Chelsea fan. I've been a Chelsea fan for 25 years, bro. But we can sit here and have that argument if you want. I just believe that Enzo Maresca had the identity in the club, and honestly, bro, the players were playing for him. And I guarantee during those runs, you were just as happy as seeing this team win. That's all I'm going to say on that. Honestly. And I'll smoke this vape just for you, brother. I'm just here to give my opinions, bro. If you don't agree with my opinions, we can agree to disagree. I don't really care. You're 25 years old. I'm 32, bro. And I sound like Maresca PR. I believed in the guy, honestly. And a lot of people, Josh was continuously maligned. Maresca lost so many easy games. His worst loss, bro, was 3-0 to Brighton away and 3-1 at the Bridge to Brighton, to the same team, by the way. That was his worst loss. Liam Rosenia had 5 3-0 defeats in a month and lost 5-2 to PSG at home or in Paris. And I agree with you, bro. Josh Achiampong should have gotten more game time, and he deserves more game time. Wesley Fofana shouldn't even be in the starting lineup, brother. Honestly, he really, really shouldn't. I think Josh Achiampong deserves a lot more game time. I really, really do. If you're gonna have all these young players in the squad, you might as well play them. And if the experienced players aren't playing well enough, you bench them. Cole Palmer has been shit for honestly over a year, and he's finding himself in the starting lineup almost every single game. And Cole Palmer's my favorite player on the team, bro. And I'm saying he shouldn't be going to England at the World Cup, and he shouldn't even be starting in games because he's been god awful. He's been dreadful. You can go back on my past streams and hear me talk about this. But honestly, bro, I do enjoy like the back and forth engagement because I want people to come in here and also disagree with me so then I can give my opinions. I like these kind of interactions because you're saying a lot of stuff that I'm not saying, and you're giving your point of view. That's what I like. I like when people give their point of views and then I can talk about it with you. So you're justifying cancerous behavior of Maresca by Racinia? No, I'm not. How am I justifying his behavior? The team was clearly better under Enzo Maresca than Liam Racinia, bro. Like, do you also understand that they had the third best defensive record in the league under him? I'm not saying his style of play was fun to watch. I'm saying they had an identity, bro. What manager has come in under this ownership and actually had an identity? This is what fans are clamoring for, bro. Where's the identity of this football club? Where are the patterns of play? Where's the defensive structure at? Like, where's it at? It's not there. You hope under Xabi Alonso, it gets better. But until we see otherwise, we're going to see this team cut open every single time. Every single time. I'm not justifying anything, bro. I'm speaking on what I've seen. And if you haven't seen the same thing, that's on you, bro. Like, I'm not going to sit here and try to change your opinion. Alonso is a much more down to earth as a player and a person. Humility, that's something Enzo totally lacks. I mean, sure, we can agree on that too. Sure. I see what you're saying there. But we haven't seen Xabi Alonso in the Premier League as a manager yet. And I'm not even here predicting Chelsea are going to go on and win the Premier League next season. That's not realistic. Because they may not even make it into Europe next season. But if Enzo Maresca is still the manager, Chelsea aren't sitting 10th in the Premier League, bro. They're just not. Like, are you blue co in or out? Like I want to know, honestly. I'm not going to get on you if you're in or out. I just want to know if you are. I think Xabi Alonso may do well at Chelsea, bro, if he's given the opportunity to bring players in. But if the ownership is going to sit here and get this disgruntled that somebody wants to have players come in and they speak out. You see, club should have bought a center half, but that does not give Enzo a license to be a bitch. He walked into this marriage knowing what it was. Like, for his second season or his first season? His second season, I'm pretty sure he had an idea. But his first season, he had no idea, and he overachieved, really, to win the Conference League, the Club World Cup, and get top four. I mean, nobody expected that, right? But the way that he left the club, I don't agree with. I think he could have handled that a lot better. A lot better. And then a lot of the fans probably wouldn't be calling him a cancerous snake or a bitch or whatever, right? That's just how I see it, man. But honestly, bro, I do enjoy like your comments. I do enjoy like the interaction, honestly, because these are the kind of people I want to come into my stream and have disagreements with me so then we can have a back and forth. Those are the kind of things I'm like looking for, honestly. I really, really am. I'm sporting directors out. Yanks have brought too many leaders and too less workers. Hey, I'm American, bro. I'm sitting here telling you, like, I'm not here for private equity and business opportunities at this football club. Like I said, I've been a fan of this club for 25 years, bro. My dad introduced me to this sport for a reason. He was a Manchester United fan. I became a Chelsea fan because that's the first team I ever saw on TV. These sporting directors are an absolute joke. The owners are an absolute disgrace to the sport, and they're showing why American owners shouldn't even be in European football, period. So I agree with you, bro. You can call them Yanks because they are Yanks at the end of the day. They don't have the IQ. They don't have the wherewithal to understand what they're doing wrong. And you would hope after 4 years and they bring in Xabi Alonso, bro, something has to change because if he goes south with Alonso, you're not going to blame him. You're going to blame the sporting directors and the ownership. You're not going to blame the manager because the issues have never been the manager, not even Enzo Maresca, not even Liam Rossigna. Not any of these managers were never the issue. The fish rots from the head down, bro. And that's the problem. And the fact that like I said earlier, bro, the fact that the ownership, or not the ownership, the protest was discontinued because you bring in a manager, tells you everything you need to know about how serious they were about getting these owners out. And it's like I have here, bro. I've had this on my stream for the better part now since I've started doing YouTube. Blue Co out. I've had this. Ben had it. They should have let Maresca. I mean, they said there was going to be a review at the end of the season. At this point, Enzo is worse than Conte. Both jeopardize Chelsea's season midway. Can never side with him. I mean, there's going to be people in the fan base that don't like Enzo Maresca. I'm not going to sit there and say you're not entitled to your opinion because you absolutely are, right? And you can do that. Antonio Conte's second season severed so many relationships with these players, bro. He really, really did. Enzo Maresca didn't have a bad relationship with the players. He had a bad relationship with the ownership, and the ownership didn't want him speaking out, and he did. That's why he's gone. But the way that Enzo Maresca left, I agree with you, bro. Morrison, I agree with you. He did not go out the right way. But when you tell everybody that there's a review at the end of the season and he doesn't even make it through halfway through the season, something else went on at that club. It did. Bro, keep going. I'll probably go on for another like maybe 5 minutes, bro. I gotta allow my girl to come in here at some point, bro. Can't have her get too pissed at me, man. She's also pregnant, so I ain't really trying to go through those hormones right now, if you know what I mean. but Morrison, bro. When I say yank, I mean the no approach, trying to change things out. I mean, they haven't done anything right in 4 years, bro. Their best achievements, obviously, are the 2 pieces of silverware. But outside of that, man, they haven't done anything. The bare minimum, like all they care about is the Champions League. Also, EPL is not the NBA. I agree with that. Like European football, world football is not the NBA. The salaries are different. The wages are different, and it's just the fans are different. In my opinion, football fans are more passionate than any other fans in any other sport. So I agree with that, bro. Morrison, I agree with a lot of what you're saying, but I just don't agree with saying that I'm like over here saying that I'm justifying Enzo Maresca's behavior with Liam Rossigna. I don't agree with that because Liam Rossigna was never gonna make it at this club because he wasn't ready. And you would hope the ownership learned their lesson by hiring a guy like Xabi Alonso. That's all I'm gonna really say. But I'm gonna be honest, guys. I need to get out of here. I need to go see my family. But I just wanted to speak on Joao Pedro not being selected to the Brazilian national team. And Morrison, I don't know if you were here earlier in the stream, hearing how upset I was that Joao Pedro wasn't in there. But Joao Pedro should absolutely be in the Brazilian national team. Neymar, Endrick, a lot of these cats in the attacking line should not be there. Absolutely not. All right. But one last thing here. I will be on stream tomorrow. The people that were here today, I appreciate the engagement, the chats, the messages, the likes, all that stuff, bro. It means a lot. I'm going to keep it going. I'm consistent. Yeah. I'm so glad Liam. Well, a lot. Okay. So that point there, people are glad Liam Rossigna happened because if Xabi Alonso fails, the ownership definitely has to go. You are absolutely right. And I said this too. If he fails at Chelsea, the ownership have to go. They have no choice. They have no choice. My theory of them selling in the summer may be dead now, but if he fails in any point in these 4 years and the ownership sack him, it's over with. It's cookies, bro. But look, I got to get out of here. I appreciate everyone chiming in, tuning in. The engagement has been beautiful. This is what I'm looking for when it comes to streaming and doing this YouTube stuff, bro. People come in here, have their own opinions, and we have a discussion. That's what I'm looking for. And I'm glad people like Morrison came in, people like Gomez came up in here. Everybody that was in here, big up. I appreciate it. Keep it going. I do upload shorts. I do upload videos, which I do need to do more of. And I'll give my opinions. And if you guys disagree with it, drop your opinions in the comments. Tell me why I'm wrong. And I'll be happy to engage with you. I engage with comments. I engage with all this stuff, man. And people on Twitter watching, I appreciate you guys watching. At some point, I will allow people to jump on the mic and tell me if I sound like I'm a fucking idiot, bro, because I don't mind it. I want people to tell me if I'm wrong and give me your reasonings why I'm wrong. That's what I'm here for. I'm not always right about things. I'm not going to pretend like I am. But I'm passionate about this football club. I live 5,000 miles away, bro. I've been a fan for 25 years. I've never seen this club in the gutter in the way that it is. I love this club to death, bro. It's my everything. My girl will tell you that. If my dad was still here, he will tell you that shit, bro. I love this club to death. I don't care how bad they're playing. I still watch their games. Why? Because it's in my blood, bro, to watch this team. There are American fans out there that give a fuck about European football, bro. But at the end of the day, I'm Jason. No filter Chelsea. Drop a like, comment, sub, share this stuff, man. My prediction for tomorrow for Chelsea Spurs at the Bridge. Chelsea, don't you fucking dare lose. But I got Chelsea winning 3-1 at the Bridge. I'll see you guys in the next stream, which will happen tomorrow morning, probably around 8:15 West Coast time, California time. So if you guys are in the UK, anywhere all over the world, do your time conversions there. That's when I will be live. And we will be going over more of Chelsea Spurs, Pep Guardiola leaving, the disgraceful decision of Joao Pedro not being in the Brazilian national team. And big up to everybody that is still continuing that message. Blue Co out, bro. Continue to push that message. Because if Xabi Alonso fails, get the fuck out. But until then, guys, I'm Jason. I'll see you guys in the next stream. I'm gonna watch some reality TV